Alright, Shalom. Before I begin, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Ruach Kodash. I would like to say double honors to my teachers, the men whom I've learned this truth from, the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. And I'd also like to say Shalom and salutations to the brothers of the hopeful elect that are preaching this word in truth and sincerity. Alright, I'm the brother Shaquat from the branch of Great Millstone, Montreal. I'm back with another in-transit lesson. And this lesson that I'm going to be getting into today, it's going to be going into something that was mentioned in the Elder Apostle Tahar's video that he was making, the most recent video. I believe the title had to do, or the title says something along the lines of, we're not entertainers, but he said it like entertainer lights, you know, meaning we're not supposed to be this truth. It's not entertainment, you know, because this truth is serious business. You know, it's not something that you're supposed to basically take lightly, man. You know, because it's serious business. It's the work of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, right? And as he was going into in the video, he was the example that he brought up, or he was speaking on. I think it was Captain Tazariak and a couple other people on what's it called? They basically had a Zoom or something, you know, and they were debating, you know? And yeah, the truth is not about debating. You know, being in this truth, you don't use it to debate, man. You know, because what is there to debate when you have the truth, when you actually know and have the truth, man? You don't have to try to prove somebody else wrong. But even, you know, with that being said, that that debate concept is entertainment. You know, you're entertaining the people that are watching, going back and forth. Oh, you're getting oohs and ahs, man. But that's not what the truth is about, right? The truth is about sincerity, you know, sincerity of heart, you know, humbleness. Because that debating spirit, you know, like scriptures say, knowledge puffeth up. It brings pride, man. You know, because what's the whole consensus of it? It's like, yo, I'm right, you're wrong. You know, I'm right, you're wrong. You know, so that's pride. You know, it yields the fruits of pride, man. You know, and the Lord is not dealing with that style of bringing out the word, man. The Lord said in simplicity. You know, the scripture spoke about the simplicity of Yahushai. The instructions that are left behind to further and advance the ministry of the Lord is simple. You know, all the Lord asks us to be out in the highways and hedges. You know, that's it. You know, and do videos. You know, feed the sheep. You know, the Lord didn't ask us to debate and go and confound, you know, all these other people. No, man, there's no need of that, man. You know, there's no need for that. You know, there's no need to try to make it entertaining, you know, because that's another thing. The elect, you know, which is the reason for all the videos and the highways and hedges, right, for the elect's sake, you know, they're not going to gravitate to the truth because of how it's presented, you know. Like for example, you might have some groups that try to make their videos cinematic. You know, they add a whole bunch of you know, they edit their videos, their production, they go in, you know, try to make it look as nice as possible. Nah, man, you know, which there's nothing wrong with doing that, but that's not what's gonna captivate an elect member, man. You know, an elect member is gonna be captivated simply because of the word, you know, and not how it's presented. You know, so there's no need to make it entertaining. If a person is a part of the elect, no matter how, you know, the word is preached onto them, they're gonna gravitate to it, you know? And it does not need to be entertaining at all. You know? It could be raw, it could be, you know, the quality of the video could be low, but it's just the words, right? That's why the words, Hebrews 4:12, it speaks about the word of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahshai being powerful, man. You know, that's the power of the words of the Lord. You know, you don't need nothing added to it. You know, just bringing it out alone is powerful, man. You know? So yeah, there's no need to do all these extra things, you know, preaching the truth, you know, and I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, right? Just keep it simple, you know, because that's what it's all about, you see? So yeah, man, Lord willing, I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect. I want to say, Kal Halayimlah, Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Ruach Kodash. Once again, I'd like to say double honors to my teachers, the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, the men who I've learned this truth from. And I'd also like to say shalom and salutations to the elect. Until next time,